The sun was setting over the peaceful waters of the bay as Jessica Redcliffe dipped her paddle into the calm ocean. She had always loved kayaking, feeling a deep connection with the sea and its creatures. That day, however, the ocean had other plans, a terrifying encounter that would change her life forever. Jessica had heard stories of dolphins being playful and friendly, but nothing could have prepared her for what happened next. As she glided through the water, a dark shadow darted beneath her kayak, sending a chill down her spine. At first, she thought it was just a curious dolphin, but then she saw the unmistakable dorsal fin of an orca, a killer whale. Her heart pounded as the massive creature circled her tiny kayak, its black and white markings gleaming in the fading light. Before she could react, the orca slammed into the side of her kayak, nearly capsizing her. Jessica screamed, her voice echoing across the empty bay as she clung to the slippery plastic. The orca surfaced again, its cold, intelligent eyes locking onto hers with eerie focus. She had heard that orcas rarely attacked humans, but this one seemed different, aggressive, relentless. With another powerful thrust, the orca struck again, this time flipping the kayak completely. Jessica plunged into the icy water, gasping for air as the shock of the cold took her breath away. She flailed desperately, trying to swim to the surface, but the orca was not done with her. Its massive body brushed against her legs, sending waves of terror through her entire being. "Help! Someone, please!" she cried, but the shoreline was too far, and no one was around to hear her. The orca circled her like a predator sizing up its prey, its movements calculated and precise. Jessica's mind raced. Was this how it would all end? Eaten alive by a creature she had always admired. Suddenly, another shape appeared in the water, a dolphin, its sleek body cutting through the waves. For a brief moment, hope flickered in Jessica's heart. Maybe the dolphin would help her. But then, to her horror, the dolphin joined the orca, both creatures now surrounding her. The dolphin rammed into her side, its snout hitting her ribs with brutal force. Pain exploded through her body as she struggled to stay afloat, her strength fading fast. The water around her turned chaotic as the two marine mammals continued their assault. Jessica's vision blurred as she swallowed mouthfuls of salty seawater, her lungs burning. She thought of her family, her parents, her little brother. Would they ever know what happened to her? Just as she felt herself slipping into darkness, a miracle happened. A fishing boat appeared in the distance. The sound of its engine seemed to startle the orca and dolphin, causing them to retreat momentarily. Summoning the last of her strength, Jessica screamed and waved her arms, praying the boat would see her. The fishermen spotted her and raced toward her, their faces etched with shock. Strong hands pulled her from the water, her body limp and trembling from the ordeal. "What happened?" one of the men asked, wrapping a blanket around her shaking shoulders. Jessica could barely speak, her teeth chattering as she whispered, "Orca, dolphin, attacked me." The fishermen exchanged worried glances. Such attacks were almost unheard of. As the boat sped toward shore, Jessica looked back at the water, half expecting to see the creatures following. But the ocean was calm again, as if nothing had happened, as if it had all been a nightmare. At the hospital, doctors treated her for hypothermia, broken ribs, and deep bruises. News of the attack spread quickly, drawing marine biologists and reporters to her bedside. "You're lucky to be alive," one expert told her. "Orcas don't usually attack humans in the wild." Jessica didn't feel lucky. She felt traumatized, haunted by the memory of those cold, knowing eyes. Nightmares plagued her sleep, visions of the orca and dolphin dragging her into the depths. She couldn't go near the water anymore. Even the sound of waves made her heart race. Therapists diagnosed her with PTSD, but no amount of counseling could erase the terror. Months passed, and Jessica tried to move on, but the ocean had claimed a part of her soul. She often wondered, why had those creatures attacked her? Was it mistaken identity, or something darker? Marine biologists speculated that the orca might have been agitated, or the dolphin overly territorial. But Jessica knew, deep down, that it was more than that. It felt personal, deliberate. She avoided documentaries about marine life, unable to bear seeing orcas or dolphins on screen. Her love for the ocean had turned into a deep, unshakable fear. One day, a documentary filmmaker approached her, wanting to tell her story. At first, Jessica refused, reliving the attack was too painful. But then she thought, maybe sharing her story could help others understand the dangers. She agreed, sitting down for an emotional interview that left the crew in tears. "I used to think the ocean was my friend," she said softly. "Now I know it's a wild, unpredictable force." The documentary went viral, sparking debates about human-wildlife interactions. Some called for stricter safety measures, while others dismissed her story as a freak accident. Jessica didn't care about the debates, she just wanted to heal. Slowly, with time, she began to reclaim her life, though the scars remained. She took up painting, channeling her emotions into vivid, haunting seascapes. Her artwork caught the attention of a gallery, and soon, her pieces were displayed in exhibitions. People admired the raw emotion in her work, the fear, the beauty, the tragedy. Jessica found solace in art, a way to express what words never could. Years later, she stood on a cliff overlooking the ocean, the wind tugging at her hair. The fear was still there, but it no longer controlled her. She had survived the unthinkable, and that made her stronger. The orca and dolphin that had attacked her were never seen again in that bay. Some say they were just wild animals acting on instinct. But Jessica wondered, had they been trying to send her a message? A warning to respect the ocean's power, to never take its creatures for granted. She would never know for sure. But one thing was certain, Jessica Redcliffe's story would never be forgotten. A tale of survival, terror, and the fragile line between humans and nature. Her emotional journey touched millions, inspiring both fear and reverence for the sea. And though she never kayaked again, she found new ways to love the world around her. The attack had taken something from her, but it had also given her a voice. A voice to speak for those who had no words, the wild, untamed creatures of the deep. Jessica's paintings became a bridge between humans and the ocean, a reminder of its power. She donated proceeds to marine conservation, hoping to protect others from similar horrors. Her story was taught in schools, a cautionary tale about wildlife encounters. But for Jessica, it was more than a lesson, it was her life. A life forever marked by those terrifying minutes in the water. A life shaped by fear, but also by resilience. She often dreamed of the orca and dolphin, their sleek bodies circling her. But in her dreams, they no longer attacked, they simply watched, as if waiting. Waiting for her to understand, to forgive, to remember. And in time, she did. Jessica realized that the ocean was neither friend nor foe, it was simply wild. And in its wildness, there was both danger and beauty. She would never again venture into its depths, but she could admire it from afar. Her heart still raced at the sight of waves, but now, there was also awe. Awe for the creatures that ruled that blue kingdom, so different from our own. Awe for the power that had nearly claimed her life. And awe for the strength she had found within herself. Jessica Redcliffe's story was one of survival, but also of transformation. From victim to survivor, from fear to respect, the ocean had tested her, and she had endured. And though the scars remained, they were a testament to her courage. A reminder that even in the darkest depths, there is hope. Her tale would live on, a haunting, emotional legacy of the day the sea fought back. And Jessica, she would keep painting, keep healing, forever marked by the dolphin and orca attack that changed her life. Loudly crying.